Hi, I'm Abranil, and I've been quarantined in a room for a total of 45 days in 2 countries over the last 6 months. Hold up, let's take it from the top. After spending a month and a half in Taiwan, my team sent me off with a delicious dim sum farewell lunch. You know how your parents always said don't play with your food? Well, here it was encouraged. Having fully cherished the last moments of human contact I would have for the next 15 days, I got ready to go to Korea. Alright, bags are packed, COVID test is ready, let's go to Seoul. Within a couple of hours, I had made my way to Taiwan International Airport, where I was greeted with a whole bunch of cancelled flights. Thankfully, mine was still on time, and I made my way fully masked and heavily sanitized all the way to Seoul. Now, the procedure at Incheon Airport in Korea was intense. There were quite a few forms to be filled out, agreements to be quarantined, customs declarations, immigration forms, etc. We had to download a self-diagnosis app where we were to declare our body temperature twice a day. And finally, there was a check where the immigration officer would call your local contact to confirm that you indeed were the person you were claiming to be. And after all of this is when the uncertainty really started. Passengers at this point then got assigned a lanyard with a differently colored tag on it. I got red, some others got yellow, I suppose based on whether they were going to quarantine at home or at a government facility, whether they were Korean citizens or not, etc. A couple of police screenings later, I was taken into a sort of holding pen and asked to wait there for about an hour and a half. Passengers from subsequent flights kept coming into this pen, and of course, as you can see, the wait felt a bit too long for some people. Eventually, our waiting time was up, and we were ushered into a bus on our way to an undisclosed, randomly assigned government facility for the next 14 days of quarantine. Given that in Korea, the quarantine accommodation was randomly assigned by the government, I was very nervous. I had recently gone through 2 14-day stints of being quarantined in a room in Taiwan, and there I was less nervous because I could pick my own hotel and accommodation there, so I could choose one with a lot of natural light and all the things you really need to make your stay bearable for 14 days. But here, I had no idea what we were going to get. All the horror stories were circling in my mind as we approached what would be our accommodation for the next 14 days. We were driving past these massive hotel complexes before I noticed the Grand Hyatt. Surely we weren't going to stay at the Grand Hyatt, right? Turns out we were, but it also turns out that it was unlike any other Grand Hyatt you've ever seen, or any other hotel you've ever seen. This was not the scene of an ultra-luxurious 5-star hotel. Instead, it looked like a crime scene, with police tape all across the doors, across the elevator doors, all the furniture removed, and even specially installed camera units in all the hallways to prevent you from leaving your quarantine room. Once in the room, it was quarantine life as usual. Except one aspect that I still, after 10 days, have not gotten used to. That is the daily safety announcements that I have to involuntarily hear coming out of that speaker 20 times a day in about 8 different languages, every single day. You know what? To give you a full sense of what this experience is like, I listed down all the different announcements that we get in a day. Starting from the top, the breakfast announcement.
Shortly, the meals are delivered in order, and it will take 20 to 30 minutes to be completed. Please check the front of the door outside of your room for your safety.
Alright, and then number 2, the health condition app reminder.
Support him. Submit your health condition once a day using the self-diagnosis application on your cell phone. It must be submitted every.
And soon after that, the quarantine and survey procedure.
Before you leave this facility, a survey on how you leave will be carried out. Please fill out the survey and leave it in front of the door outside of your room by 8 p.m. on that day. Thank you.
Another warning in between I didn't manage to record, and then the lunch announcement.
Your meal will be served
and so on and so on. And then the warning not to leave the room.
Anyone leaving his or her room during the quarantine period can be subject to deportation in accordance with relevant laws.
And then the non-smoking warning.
This facility is a non-smoking area.
And I could go on. I won't bore you with all the audio. 20 announcements later, you're done for the day, and then it repeats the next day. But despite all of this, the experience has been just fine. The food actually has been great, as you can see. In fact, something else interesting is that for dinner every day, they give us a pack of ramen. Let me show you. So here you can see my glorious ramen stash. I think I have about 10 so far. A few more to go before I end my journey here. Right, so in conclusion, after having been through as many quarantines as I have, the main tip that I can think of to give is keep yourself busy, either at work or with personal hobbies. You know, even at work, try to keep in touch with people. It really helps with the mental sanity side of things. You know, have as many calls as you need. And on the personal hobby side of things, whatever works for you. For me, it's reading a lot of books, in these videos and vlogs, exercising, having calls. But you know, if games are your thing, for example, bring a Switch, bring whatever console you need, you know, there's always a TV in the room. And one other tip that has really helped me through all 3 of my quarantine stints is having a schedule. So I bring blank pieces of paper with me and sellotape as well. So I divide my paper up into the days like a calendar, and then I kind of mark what I do and what my goals are for every day. So it really helps me visualize where I am in this, you know, time span of 15 days, what my progress bar is, and am I ticking my goals or not, like exercising every day and things like that. Let me show you mine for here. So I've stuck it up on this, and you can see that every day I have a mark for every time I've exercised or done other things. So yeah, that just keeps me motivated. But a couple more days to go. I hope I can keep and stick to my own advice. And yeah, hopefully see you in Seoul. Take care, guys.